Hey folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. This will be a mostly a free-for-all fun times. I will be talking about whatever comes to my mind, but there's two topics. One is a bit more mainstream than the other. One will be my thoughts on the Olympics. The other will be my thoughts on NXT firings. Now, for those of you that don't know what is NXT, NXT, which doesn't really even stand for anything, although it kind of reads like next, like we've got next or we're next in line. NXT is the pseudo training camp, third promotion of the World Wrestling Entertainment. For those of you that know me in real life, I'm still a wrestling fan after all these years, an aficionado. Some might know that I actually had a job interview for the WWE back in a while ago at this point and was not hired. I consider it their loss. Most of the people that work there aren't very happy. It seems there's a lot of firings and things happen there. Now, I'm going to discuss what just happened in the world of wrestling. We'll start off with the lead, then I'll get into my Olympics thoughts. So basically, these 12 individuals have just been fired from NXT. Mercedes Martinez, a very good, very accomplished women's wrestler. Leon Ruff. I'm not familiar. Tyler Rust, Jake Atlas, Ari Sterling, Kona Reeves, Zachariah Smith, Asher Hale, Giant Zangier, and Stephen Smith. And the big news, though, is Bronson Reed, who was their North American champion. I got to think, though, folks, it just seems that Junior McMahon never likes big fat guys. I mean, you saw the way he treated Dusty Rhodes 30 years ago. You saw the way that he's treated Keith Lee. He's shamed him, cloaked him in a horrible shirt, a muumuu, given him horrible music. Basically, if you're fat, Junior does not like you as a wrestling talent. So I'm not surprised for Bronson Reed. I think I've actually seen Bronson Reed wrestle in person in the New England circuit when I was up there. Charismatic guy, fun-loving guy, talented guy. That's not the type of individual that Vince Jr. likes. He likes whatever he likes. He likes Alexa Bliss. Who doesn't? He likes, Trish Stratus on her knees barking like a dog. That's what Junior likes. I mean, so for those of you that continually get confused or upset with how WWE does their business, we've seen this for 3, 4, 5 years. They're not going to change their business policy. The best thing you can do, it's a Friday night. I'm not watching WWE. I'm watching Olympics. I see grown men getting excited or upset about WWE or NXT, and I don't understand it. You have no cause to watch this program if it upsets you. It's a company that, once again, funded Trump in 2016, in my opinion, which I'm accurate. Led to the Capitol riots on January 6th. I have no use for this company. It does not do anything for me to support the WWE. There's NXT, which is just a training ground for McMeat puppets. And if 4 or 5 years ago, a friend of mine would say such wonderful things as, well, I don't watch the main roster, I just watch NXT, with his nose in the air. And I would just simply say, your same dollar in Vince's other pocket. Just saying that you're an NXT fan and not a WWE fan, it's basically just your same dollar in Vince's other pocket. They got you. If you think that being an NXT fan is something revolutionary or that makes you better than the rest of the McMeat puppet marks, you're mistaken. You can't buy the alternative from the mainstream company. That's like if Walmart opened up a store on every corner, like a smaller shop, and called it Indie Goods. And you said, well, I don't go to Walmart. I go to Indie Goods. Yet Walmart owned Indie Goods, even if they called it like Sam's Indie Goods. And you go to Sam's Indie Goods with your hipster wallet, like one of those. I hate those wallets that are like the thin wallets. I don't understand that product. I need a man-sized wallet to put a lot of stuff in. These guys with, I've got my wallet that's the size of 3 credit cards put together, and I can carry $10 at a time. And I can carry 3 cards at a time. That's not a wallet. That's not a man's wallet. A man's wallet has to be bulky and cumbersome and annoying. That's what a man does for a wallet. So for all you indie fucks who think that being an NXT fan is somehow cool and hip and happening, you're mistaken. If you want to be an indie-rific fuck, you watch AEW. That's what the indie-rific fucks watch. And that's what I watch as an indie-rific fuck. So what can I tell you? AEW, people like to shit and piss all over it. However, didn't AEW just kick the living shit out of WWE for 2 years straight? I think they did. Didn't they, assholes? Yes, they fucking did. Now, I have to get into some serious topic matter because I'm also streaming this throughout YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. The whole world is watching. And what people are saying, well, gee whiz, Mike, you can't just sit here and swear about pro wrestling. We need more content from you. So to mainstream it up a little bit, I'm watching this Olympiads. I'm watching, I guess, the weird way to watch. Like I'm watching, I for like a week or 5 days, I thought the only way to watch this Olympics was on the Peacock Network with Tokyo Tonight. And I guess I'm the only asshole in the world watching this version of the Olympics coverage. It's Carrie Champion, who's got one of the best bodies of females ever on television. Very attractive woman, very well stated. I pissed her off once, and she retweeted like something, and her friend were yelling at me because they were doing something on there stupid. I think it was the thing. Well, hello, MJ All Elite. Nice to see you, buddy. I'm just bitching about the state of the world, but it was something where it wasn't even Carrie Champion. It was like one of her friends, the lady that got fired from ESPN. And they had like Logan Paul or something on there, and he beat the was it Nate Robinson, a basketball player? And then these two ladies were interviewing him and saying, "Oh, it was very racist that you beat up Nate Robinson." This is about a they incriminated him. There I am. They were trying to make him say something stupid, and he didn't. And then these two women started gushing over him. So then I like tweeted some complaint, and then she tweeted something. Do I think Miro is a cuck? Javid, great guy. Javid, please put your thing in there, buddy. Your pro wrestling stories. Put that up there, and I'll give you a little shout out. Do I think Miro's a cuck? Well, Miro's wife, Lana, had that storyline with Bobby Lashley. Now, here's a theory of mine, guys, for pro wrestling fans. Once again, switching gears again to pro wrestling. Okay, go back to 1996, 1997. They hire Mark Mero, they being Junior McMahon, hires Mark Mero, and then he sees the lovely Rena Mero, his wife, okay, the man's wife. They make her Sable. And then in a couple of years, they're pushing Sable as the top star, and Mark Mero is the jobber. He's the guy losing to her. Flash forward a generation or two. 2014? They've got Big Miro, and whose name is Rusev in WWE at the time, and he's got a big tank, and he's got Lana, the Ravishing Russian. First of all, it was stupid for them to call her the Ravishing Russian because it's just dumb. She's supposed to be the heel. You don't give her like a babyface nickname like that. It's just such idiocracy with that company. So Lana's out there, and basically they're pushing Lana instead of Rusev. Like Lana's getting all this attention. So what do? They fuck it up, and they make her a babyface, and they have her with Dolph Ziggler wearing a jean jacket shirt like she's a groupie or a roadie for like Poison in 1986. And the whole thing was a catastrophe. And now you push just half a generation later, and I guess Junior's getting his licks in before he hits the casket nap. And he's pushing another gentleman, Karrion Kross, or Hunter is on NXT. And, of course, he's got his beautiful bride, Scarlett Bordeaux, who basically looks like the reincarnation or Sable's daughter, to be honest with you. Very similar look. And you bring up good old Rusev to the main roster. And what happens? They decide to humiliate Karrion Kross, losing to the former drug addict, Jeff Hardy, losing to Keith Lee, and just ruining this guy. And now Cornette is theorizing, Jim Cornette, that, they're going to bring in Scarlett, and she'll be like the spinach to Popeye, and everything will be fine. But my problem with that is that just puts Scarlett over and reduces the wrestler, Karrion Kross. Junior's habit, he, in his own demented mind, is competing with these men for the attention of their women. And yes, it sounds silly and stupid, but this is Junior we're talking about. That's what I have a hard time with wrestling fans, particularly folks engage me with this. Wrestling fans want to think that the wrestlers or the promoters think like them, like rational, ethical human beings. They don't. Paul Heyman allowed a 16-year-old kid to get his head sliced open with a knife in his ring. He didn't check ID. He didn't check a driver's license. Junior does horrible, god-awful things to people all the time. And the wrestling fans are like, oh, well, they didn't mean to do that. They don't think like normal people, folks. They're not thinking with suburban values or mainstream values. You can't apply your ethics to wrestling promoters or to entertainers or to politicians. They don't play by the same rules we do. Okay? All right? Yes, I understand. We are discussing that. I listed all the people, Michael. AJ Norris, good guy here. Really good guy. And I discussed, go back, keep watching live, buddy. But when you go back on the replay, you'll see that was the lead. I discussed Bronson Reed being a charismatic guy, but Junior doesn't like fat guys. Bottom fucking line. He doesn't like guys that are not muscle guys. MJ All Elite, I think you're a new guy. I like your icon there, buddy. The Death Rider. That's pretty cool, man. I don't know what graphic novel that is. Javier, I told you, buddy, put up your thing, your pro wrestling stories, and I'll give you a shout out. Now, the Olympics, here we go. Whether it's wrestling or Olympics, and look, I'm guilty too, folks, because I've got a book to write. I'm on page 25 of one book. I'm on like chapter 6 of my Fight or Play Basketball book, but I put that all on hold. I'm kind of helping someone out this week, so it's a different type of week for me, and so I'm not living my best life every minute of every day either. But my point is, living vicariously through others will make you a good consumer. That's the subtitle of this video. And whether it's watching these Olympic people, now I want to go off on the Olympics because, the angry wrestling fan is angry at the whole goddamn world, by the way. It's not just wrestling, it's every fucking thing. So this Olympics is all these people that, if I knew these people in real life, I probably wouldn't like them. They would be the most self-centered fucking assholes in the world that I wouldn't give a flying shit about. And they're sports that are pretty obscure. Look, you have the mainstream stuff. The basketball should be starting at 10:30. I guess I'll watch. It's 10:04. I just reminded myself. But I'm just telling you that these obscure sports like the cycling and the fucking walking, it's like, is this sports or exercise? You know what I mean? To me, a sport has to have defense. Like golf, I have an issue with golf. I mean, I know it's not the most original content here, but golf, there's no human element of defense. Yes, you can say, oh, the course was rough today. The sand was moist because it rained 2 weeks ago. Well, who cares? When people were singing a song about Tiger Woods, I didn't give a flying fuck. The guy plays golf for a living. It's not something that impresses me. A friend of mine, oh, he hit the ball, then he put the backspin on the ball, and it went in reverse. I play mini golf. I don't expect people to give a shit about that. I'm a pretty good mini golfer. Does anyone give a fuck? I'm good, Carl. How are you, buddy? So I'm just telling you that this living vicariously through others that people tend to do, like we're a perfect example. Last week, they showed some Olympian doing some fucking wonderful thing. And then they showed her friends and family sitting around a goddamn TV. How come all these Olympian families, it's like 1955, they only have one TV for like 50 people? I mean, when I watch TV, it's usually by myself. There might be one other fucking person there, but I'm never in a situation like I'm sitting there with a room full of assholes watching the television together like it's 1955 and there's one TV in the neighborhood. But suddenly, whenever there's some Olympic asshole doing some goddamn thing, it's like a group. It's like the town comes together to gather around the campfire and watch the one TV in town. So I don't know what to say, but I'm just telling you, all the people on the couch, no offense to this person or her family, they were all overweight and excessive and pasty, and it just looked like they weren't healthy. So they're watching the Olympian of their choice go out and take on the world and do all these wonderful things, yet they all look like a pile of shit. I mean, they could go out and do some fucking Tybo or whatever the fuck. Remember that? Tybo? Whatever happened to Tybo? Whatever happened to Solo Flex? A friend of mine used to joke around that women were always expecting the Solo Flex man to come out on the TV and fuck them. Well, the Solo Flex man's not here, bitch. That's all I've got for you. I'm going to have to take this fucking video off of LinkedIn because it's not professional business. I mean, that's one thing my friend of mine told me years ago, that LinkedIn was so professional and you had to watch what you did on LinkedIn. Who gives a fuck? All these social media things. Oh, put your resume on this. Like a month ago, I got all excited. I put my fucking the tree thing. Have you seen this? The tree, whatever the fuck. Oh, good. Lou Thez is here. I'm just, I was talking about this tree thing, like some social media thing where you put all your goddamn links into the tree, right? And it took me like a fucking hour to do this. A month later, I've had no reason to use this goddamn tree. And I just remembered it now because I haven't been using it. All these fucking things. There's so much information in the world. Masterclass, YouTube videos, Udemy, all this fucking information that if you watch all these goddamn videos, suddenly you'll be a brain surgeon and cure cancer and COVID and AIDS and heart disease all in one fucking night. If only you watch this goddamn video, you will be Jesus Christ, walk on water, and shit gold for the rest of your days. Well, suddenly it doesn't work like that. You know what I fucking mean? Oh my God in heaven. Now I'm looking at these fucking, women's softball. Look, guys, let's be fucking honest. If you walked out of your house and you saw women's softball, you would keep on walking. The only way you would stand there and watch a women's softball game if they were all smoking hot. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, I'm watching this weird Olympics coverage with Carrie Champion or smoking hot. Guy on there is a creep. I mean, I know I'm a fucking weirdo, but this guy's a pure creep. This fucking guy is on the show, and he's like hitting on the Olympic women, and he's talking about what type of coffee they buy and all this weird shit. And it's like he's just creeping on these people. And Carrie Champion she gets away with it because she's attractive. And she's dropping names like she's hanging out with Beyonce and, oh, what's your Beyonce story? And talking about the fucking Beehive. I'm telling you, if I get to a point of popularity or fame or some shit, I don't want people who watch my stuff to have a cute name for themselves. Like, oh, we're the Miley Cyrus hip huggers, or we're the Beehive. What the fuck does that mean? You're basically putting this person on a goddamn pedestal, and you're demeaning yourself at the same time. You can't put these people, whether it's Olympic athletes or movie stars or WWE wrestlers or AEW wrestlers, you can't put these assholes on a pedestal because you demean yourself while you do it. There was a question in here or a comment. Thanks, Lou. Lou's at work. Good to see you, buddy. Not safe for work, I would say. I want to talk about this MJ All Elite. I remember when Martinez showed up in AEW for the Women's Casino Battle Royal. Then she signs with NXT just to be chewed up and spat out. Shake my head. Now, MJ All Elite. Couldn't it be said that had she stuck with AEW, she would have been doing better by now because they have more respect for people and older people? I think Mercedes is a little bit older. WWE has released 56 wrestlers in total since last August. Hey, Adam. And yet they say it's so crazy to think they're going to sell the company. Oh, that's just bullshit. There's no way they're selling the company, right? We're all making that shit up. When they're releasing all this talent, it's called trimming the fat, getting rid of some of these high-end contracts or even middle-end contracts to make the company more valuable for a sale or more palatable. And correct me if I'm wrong, I will look it up right now, but wasn't there a deal a while ago where the WWE had a clause with Saudi Arabia that if the WWE were to sell, Saudi Arabia would be the first buyer? Am I wrong in that? Like, that was kind of a story that was rumored and then like kind of not really talked about. Okay, here we go, folks. TheSportster.com, July 11th, 2020, over a year ago. New rumors have surfaced that Vince McMahon may sell WWE as Saudi Arabia and Disney are labeled as potential buyers. Can you imagine to be honest with you, wouldn't you feel like a piece of shit if the WWE sold itself to the fucking Saudi Arabia? Wouldn't you feel like a fucking asshole? I would. Like, a part of my fucking childhood, a part of my fanhood would be on sale. No offense to the Saudi Arabian people, but to the government that throws homosexuals off of fucking buildings and kills them for being homosexual in public. I'm not making that up. That's the real story. That's I hate saying the guy's name because I always get his name wrong, but the reporter that they killed and they chopped him up, that's who the WWE deals with, folks. Hey, Dylan, what's up, buddy? Dylan's up in here. Oh, thanks, man. Actually, a question I can actually answer. So Dylan DeFuccio has a nice question. What projects am I working on right now? About 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks and 2 days ago, I traveled down to another part of Florida, Eustis, Florida, and I ended up shooting Seduction of Distance. I guess I will put a link in there. If you hear a little bit of audio, it's because I'm linking this thing, so don't get excited, guys. I'm still right here. But I did Seduction of Distance. It's 3 minutes and 11 seconds. I think you'll enjoy it. This is all for the same project, Distance from Avalon, or A Distance from Avalon, my book, which there it is. So I'm going to copy and put that link here, buddy. A Distance from Avalon promo, proof of concept, Seduction of Distance. So I filmed it myself. Here's the deal. If you watch my video, Disregard the Vampire Mike Messier documentary, you can see what pretty much drove me fucking nuts, which is dealing with other people, to be quite honest. And that's part of the fun of being a film person, is you deal with other people, but it's also the best part and the worst part. So basically, I went down and I did my own thing. This is like 7 years later, man. This is how this shit tears me up. I go down in Florida and I memorize the monologue. My friend Kim helped me memorize the monologue, Kim Kaling. We have our rehearsal thing, and I shot the fucking 3-minute monologue myself with my own camera. I waited to what they call golden hour, and I filmed it. So now the idea is to take that 3-minute thing, use it to sell copies of the book, use it to get this YouTube channel. And thanks, guys, by the way. And I say guys and women, but it's like 89% guys, which is fine. Thanks for subscribing, because I'm at like 949 for subscribers, or 948. And I get to 1,000 subscribers. And here's my hope, my wish, my goal, my plan. If I can get some real money from this YouTube channel, it's going to fund A Distance from Avalon. It's going to fund these movies. Right now, I'm in a situation where I can live, okay, but if I get some money from YouTube, that'll supplement the films. So there you go. That's the answer to that. The other answer, Dylan, is Dick Beyer was wasn't he the Super Destroyer? Wasn't he? Dick Beyer was one of the masked wrestlers. Dylan has another question. Do you know who Dick Beyer is? I don't know him personally, but he was definitely a wrestler. I think he was a Super Destroyer, or was he Dick the Bruiser? You tell me, Dylan. I'm not going to Google it. I'm just going by memory. He was either Super Destroyer or Dick the Bruiser. The other thing I've been working on, which I've taken a break from this week, is Fight or Play Basketball. It's my book. It's up on Amazon. It's on the Kindle thing. I haven't really announced this yet, but I've been working on it. I've got 6 chapters up. Kindle Vella. It's this new thing. I've been working on that. And that was actually because I was taking a break from my other thing, which is A Distance from Avalon sequel. So I'm taking a break from taking a break. There's some insinuating circumstances that are causing me to take this break. It's just not a good week for me to write. You know what I mean? But I'll get back to it. I always enjoy writing. I enjoy writing and ranting. Those are the things I'm good at. What else? It's a tough time, though, Dylan, to be honest with you, because we're still at the end of this fucking thing, this worldwide situation, as I like to call it. And although I've been fully vaccinated, I don't know if I want to hang out with people. You know what I mean? To be honest, like, just to go and audition people and work with people. I want to, might give this a few more years. Whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just, there's a thing, and it's kind of, worldwide related, and it's kind of just a separate thing with me, which is I put a lot of time into trying to nurturing other people's talents. And now I'm just at a point where fuck them. I'm more talented than all of those assholes anyway. You know what I mean? Like I look at this fucking monologue I did and I look at my fucking writing talent and I don't really feel like collaborating with assholes anymore. I just don't. Because typically, like for instance, if I get brought in to be a co-writer, it's twice the work and half the credit. So I'm just at the point where I don't give a fuck. I just want to do my own goddamn thing. And eventually, when this smoke clears and I'm up for it, I will be happy to direct. Because once I start doing it, I enjoy it. And when I work with good people, like the people I worked with in The Impeccable or So You Are the Guy and Blood Sugar Sedase, those projects I feel pretty good about because I was really stringent on who I worked with. But I'm in a new area. I ventured forth to the south, and I just haven't really met a lot of people yet, buddy. So that's why I'm, it's fine, though. I'm doing my thing, and I'm doing all right. Yeah, okay. So what's the deal with Dick Byer, the Destroyer? Okay, Lou had the fucking answer. I call him the Super Destroyer. Was that the same as the Destroyers, the Super Destroyers, or two different guys? I remember that he used to have his own merch in the back of the wrestling magazines. One of the first do-it-yourself wrestler guys. I guess this basketball game's about to start, guys. It's 10-17. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Oh, God. So let's see. What does Dylan have to see? I don't follow wrestling, but I just heard you talk about WWE and reminded me of my friend whose grandma is Dick Byer. Oh, cool. Granddad is Dick Byer, who unfortunately passed. Yeah, I think that was a while ago, buddy. Now you got me intrigued because now I got to look up fucking Super Destroyer Dick Byer. But I don't know if he was the Super Destroyer and the Destroyer, or was it the same guy or what? He has that mask. He used to have his merch in the wrestling magazines. His Wikipedia page has got a really interesting photo, like he's seeping blood through his mask. He did the Destroyer. He did Dr. X. I'm telling you, I remember in the Super Destroyer though. Who the hell was that? You know what I mean? Interesting. You put me on this tangent, buddy. Oh God. So there you go, folks. Trying to think if anything else interesting happened today. I went to the Dollar fucking Tree. That's always fine. Actually, just give me a moment. I'm going to show you guys. Don't leave. I got some really cool shit at the fucking Dollar Tree. You're going to be shocked and amazed. You're going to say, Mike, I can't believe you got that. Oh, my God. Don't leave, guys. God damn it. All right. It's going to be show and tell. Don't leave because this is really exciting. Okay, we're back. We'll do a new video soon. For those, Carl, my buddy Carl has his own playlist here. First, the practical. So I was watching like tips to keep your car clean, and they said something about taking tinfoil cups and put them in your cup holder in your vehicle. That way your fucking vehicle doesn't get all fucked up in the cup thing. Well, I couldn't find the tinfoil cups for muffins in the goddamn Dollar Tree, and I just don't ask. You know what I mean? Like, because if you ask, you have to go talk to someone. It's just that's too much work. So they have these other goddamn things. So I guess I'm just gonna like use these instead. And I got 6 of them, so I figured I've got 3 rounds. Like when they get all nasty, I'll throw them out. But you put these in your cup holder, and then they get nasty instead of your car, and then you throw them in the garbage. Or you clean them. Now I got a nice comb. You know what I mean? Because look at this comb I was trying to use. It was a horrible comb, and I had to get this comb instead. And I got one for indoors and one for outdoors. This comb at the Dollar Tree is pretty nice for my long hair. Now check this out. This is what we all came to see. I don't know how else to explain it. Either look at that. Yeah, it's what's in the box. You're right, Adam. What's in the box? Fucking He-Man. And now this is, look, oh my God. This is not the same as like the 5.5-inch guys. it's just a reminder. Like, I'm not going to sit there and play with the 5.5-inch guys, but it just kind of reminded me of where's my goddamn merman? For Christ's sakes. Merman. I got a merman, I think. Coutoure. It's interesting if you ever watch the things now how flamboyant Coutoure was in the cartoon. Didn't think about that at the time. This guy's a badass. He was actually Princess Leia's father, which is kind of cool. And this fuck, who I remember as a kid, I never saw him. Orko, or whatever this fucking name is. Orko, the little bastard. Now, there's a merman around here somewhere. Yeah, man, it's cool. The goddamn Dollar Tree. Here's the thing, folks. If you really want to get down to it, life is so fucked up. You know, because, I mean, the best thing to do is just live, enjoy your life, and die before you have to figure it all out. Because if we had to sit here and think of, like, I just went to this goddamn store, right? I paid a fucking $1 for this fuck. Think of the nostalgia value I'm having. Okay, well, someone had to design the fucking box. They got the logo. They had to get the licensing. They had to put this cardboard and the plastic together. They had to put the fucking somebody somewhere or a machine molded this fucking little statue guy. Then they put this in a fucking store. The store is paying rent to the location, right? There's cost overhead and all this shit. There's commercials for this Dollar Tree. There's people that work there that are getting paid. I'm coming in, some asshole off the street, and I'm paying only $1 for all this enjoyment. Something is wrong with the fucking system, right? Like, how is this working? And meanwhile, there's countries where people are working for a nickel a week or whatever the fuck it is. And I'm just saying, like, how the hell do we know who put these out? Mattel. Yeah, I hear you, Adam. Adam's got some thoughts on this Kevin Smith stuff. Mattel, buddy. Right? But my point is, like, I'm going in and I'm getting all this fucking enjoyment, and this merman over there, I was looking for Beast Man. I didn't, you know how it is, like, you kind of go through, but, like, you don't want to look at all the goddamn thing. But it's like, how do I do this? How do we rationalize that all this enjoyment for $1, but how much money did it really cost to get this fucker into my little hand? You know what I mean? It had to be more than $1. If you think about the store, the lease, the people working there, how is this happening? And the reality is, I don't have time to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to write my books, eat my fucking food, drink a goddamn Gatorade Zero. And it's like, okay, there's no sugar in here. Well, there's aspartame. Well, fuck. I can't solve all the world's problems. I really like to. I'd really like to solve all the goddamn world's problems. You know what I mean? NXT Tyler Rust. Bro, I don't even know who the fuck Tyler Rust is. I watch AEW. I don't know, man. You tell me who Tyler Rust is, bro. Interesting. First Jaws movie was coming out on Christmas of 74, but pushed back to June 75, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. Carl and I did a nice video about the best shark movies. You can find that on the Carl Cote. You've got your own playlist, buddy. Reminds me of those plastic balls you get from a 25-cent machine in Walmart in 1992. Right. What about, there's a good video on YouTube, I think Vice did it, about the little, they were kind of like gangbanger action figures. Like, they were like, it was like the Thugs or something, like little action figures that were like hip-hop guys. And it was like a whole big scandal about this shit. There's a lot of cool shit on Facebook. Trying to see if I forgot anyone's comments. Last round for comments, everybody. I guess I'm going to call it a wrap. I'm glad that everyone kind of hung with me for this. I guess I was building up the anger. I spent a lot of time today. Best way to put it, like, how do I put this? Just doing shit that was like for some other entity other than myself. You know what I mean? Like, my time was not my own. You know what I mean? So now I feel like I can let loose. I can be myself. Anyway, guys, I'll give you about a minute. If anyone's got any statements or questions or queries, Michael's kicking in again, which is nice. Seth Rollins trained him to be in WWE. He was brought in with Roderick Strong, and Bronson Reed was let go along with Bobby Fish. Yeah, Bobby Fish is very talented, but I think he's 44 years old. And here's the thing with wrestling. You know, it's with the exception of Brock Lesnar, who you might have seen my challenge to. If you've seen the Mike Messier I Beat Brock Lesnar video. It's a young man's sport. Did I watch Cena's new movie, Suicide? See, here's the thing. Suicide Squad, I could have seen it today, but my time is not my own today, Adam. And I did have it in mind. In fact, I had a baseball ticket, which I couldn't use. I had to sacrifice that for the local team. I was going to go see Suicide Squad, and I didn't see it yet. I'll probably see it Monday. But I'm kind of in a situation where I'm sacrificing my time for the greater good for a situation. It's kind of a private thing. I can't get into it, but I'm sacrificing my time, and so I don't have the ability to go do Mike's Instant Movie Reviews. The shitty thing, buddy, is that the original Suicide Squad from like 6 or 7 years ago, whenever it was getting really crappy reviews, and something told me to say, I did see Old, as a matter of fact. Something told me to see the original Suicide Squad 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, and I didn't see it. Like, I bought into the hype. Like, I wanted to see it, and then I just didn't because everyone was shitting on it. Now I wish I had seen it. I did see Old. I think I did. I did do a Mike's Instant review of Old, and I liked it. And I think it's what I remember in the review is I said it's the top half of M. Night Shyamalan's film history. For instance, I think Quentin Tarantino's Hollywood movie, whatever the fuck it was, the Brad Pitt Leo one, I liked it, but I think it's in his bottom half of Tarantino's movies in my book. I think this one, Old, is in M. Night Shyamalan's top half, like maybe his somewhere like third or fourth best movie. Nobody. They're called the Jack Jumbo Shrimp. That's right. That was a question from Adam. I could have gone to the game tonight, buddy. But a situation where if I had left the house for too long, it would have been bad, and I just couldn't do it. Nope, they're called the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. I've got a couple of brief clips on my YouTube channel. Here we go. If you're still around, our buddy that was asking the wrestling questions, Luthez, what would Luthez do? Super Destroyer, was the spoiler. Don Jardine went in Japan. Hogan did the gimmick there as well. Didn't know that. Others did it one form or another too. So the difference is the Destroyer and the Super Destroyer. And get this, World Class Championship Wrestling, the Super Ds were Haas and Bill Irwin. Wild Bill and Haas Irwin, his brother that passed away, Scott Hogg Irwin. Unfortunate that the Scott Hogg died at a young age. And there's a couple of the Assassin, by the way. I didn't do an Assassin tribute video, to be honest. I wasn't that informed of his career. I know that he wrestled Dusty Rhodes at the Meadowlands Night of Champions in '84, and unfortunately, it was kind of a quickie. Snake Eyes, man, I saw Snake Eyes, buddy, and I wish I had known more about the G.I. Joe thing. I was more of a He-Man guy than G.I. Joe. I don't know what happened, but when I was a kid, it's like I had to choose between G.I. Joe and He-Man because they were like on competing networks at the same time. And I just remember I was always a He-Man guy, and I don't know if other kids went through this trauma of like you had to choose between He-Man and fucking G.I. Joe, but I had that trauma. Like I couldn't do them both. And so it's just one of those deals, and no offense, I've got absolutely nothing against the G.I. Joe universe. I have good friends that are totally into G.I. Joe, even now. But I was more of a He-Man guy, and I don't have to tell you. I do know Sergeant Slaughter was part of them and all that stuff, and Cobra. The movie looks great. G.I. Joe movie looks awesome. I just couldn't connect with it because I was a little bit like out of the loop with Snake Eyes, but I think the movie looked awesome. If you guys have a screen in your neighborhood, if you can go see movies, got to check out the movies on the Dolby screen. See when the movies are in Dolby Cinema. Mikey, love WWE spoiling pay-per-view Cena versus Roman. Roman winning because Cena has one last appearance after SummerSlam. Good job telling us that. See, I don't even know, bro. I'll be honest. I'm just so out of the goddamn loop. I'm going to do, on August 11th, I'm going to be part of, I always say the name wrong. It's the CTSI, network on YouTube. I believe we're actually interviewing, I don't know if I can say it, but it's a big interview that we've got scheduled. And it's a big interview on the 11th, which I think is this coming Thursday. A big interview with someone you've all heard of in the pro wrestling world. I'll give you a hint. Is a former writer for pro wrestling, big time name that I'll be part of the interview team, and we're going to do a SummerSlam preview. CTSI, I believe. I always get the initials wrong. My apologies. My buddy Joseph, Joey's a great guy. The CTI interview room. I want to try to find you that link. But I'll be part of the interview panel. I did a lot of podcasts this week, guys. I'm kind of burnt out because I did 4 podcasts for the Doomer Bloomer podcast. They were a different type of, different mood, my nice guy mood, international people, good people. And now the angry wrestling fan has to rear his head. I can't even find what I'm looking for, but just the CTI interview room. It's on here somewhere on YouTube, and it's me, and we're going to talk to wonderful people and do a SummerSlam preview show and all these wonderful things. What else is going on, guys? I'm going to try to find this game, this basketball game. Yeah, Vince, you got it. Michael AJ kicking in. He knows the deal. Voltron. Yeah, motherfucks. I mean, the Voltrons are awesome. The Voltrons, the Decepticons, Transformers more than meets the eye. Well, gentlemen, I do thank everyone for checking in. It's been fun. I just do this spontaneously, but I'm glad that we could all come together, have a nice conversation. You guys see each other's names if you want to collect on social media. Maybe I'll do a little Mike Messier page or something, but I kind of like the way it's working, to be honest with you. No need to, reinvent the wheel. The wheel is fine. You guys are always more than free to share these links. I have been noticing that my Suicide Girls Burlesque, dancers have been, the videos have been flagged by YouTube as age appropriate or inappropriate, but I've been telling them that for years. Let's see. Yeah, I wish you would stop complaining, man. I mean, because we're getting to the point where it's been a long time now, and we just have to move on. I mean, at some point, to be honest, guys, I wouldn't want to be president. I really wouldn't. If you think about it, what type of person would want to be president in 2021 or 2020? You would have to really want to just have a shitty fucking time of it. Like the days of like Abe Lincoln. You ever heard of the story of like Abe Lincoln sitting in the log cabin when he's 5, looking at a book of George Washington and prophesizing that he'd be the president someday? I just don't see those days anymore. I'm telling you, all you can do now is enjoy your fucking life, squeeze it for all it's worth, and then hope you die like quickly and not suffer in some fucking nursing home or some disease. Like, just live until you're dead, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, trying to save the environment or trying to save any goddamn thing or trying to make it a better world for you and me. I hate to say it, but it's like, fuck. I just got to get what's coming to me at this point. So I'll leave you with that. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Thanks, everyone, for kicking in. This has been a fun night. Carl will do a video soon. Whatever. So, I mean, appreciate you guys checking in. And that's it. Some new people in here, some old people, some good people. And I'll talk to you guys later. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. If you watch the replay, this is the fun. This is the joy. This is what we do. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Good night, everybody.